Hey folks, this is the third video in a series that aspires to teach Google Apps Script's Gmail app to beginners. In previous lessons, we learned how to send emails using Gmail app, as well as how to add attachments. We are going to resume by learning how to send HTML emails. We are going to navigate to the Files menu, where we will add a new script file. I am going to call my file C_0_send_HTML_email. I'm going to hit enter. We have now created a new script file, and you can tell because we have .gs at the end of the file. Now you can call your file whatever you want to. The reason that I use this naming convention is so that I could sort my files alphabetically as my project continues to grow. Next, we are going to add an HTML file. The name of this file will matter because you're going to have to use it in order to connect your HTML file to your script file so that you can send an email with HTML. I'm going to name mine C_1_email_template. I'm going to hit enter. Now you can see this file ends in .html, and instead of having Google script boilerplate, a function, we have HTML boilerplate. Now again, you can call yours whatever you want to. We are going to need to use it in our script file. We're going to begin by going back to the script file, where we will create a function called send_HTML. You can call your function whatever you want to. Just make sure it's unique to your project. We're going to open up parentheses. We are not going to be passing any arguments to this function. So we're going to hit the right arrow on our keyboard and we're going to add a space. We're going to open up a set of curly brackets and we're going to hit enter twice. We're going to begin our code by using 2 slashes so that we can add a comment that says connect to the HTML template. We're going to hit enter and tab, and we're going to declare a variable using var. I'm going to call my variable HTML template. I'm going to set that equal to capital H, HTML, capital S, service. Google Apps Script is case sensitive, which means that you need to use uppercase letters when they are required, as well as use lowercase letters when they're required. So you need to make sure that HTML service has a capital H and a capital S. You'll notice that you also get this autocomplete option here, where you can just hit enter and it will complete it for you. We're going to use the dot method so that we can use the create template from file. We're going to open up parentheses. The documentation here shows that it creates a new HTML template object from a file in the code editor, which is precisely what we have over here when we created our HTML file. The create template from file method requires a single argument, which is a string. So you're going to need the name of your HTML file from your code editor structured as a string. So you'll notice that this does not have the .html at the end. So what we're going to do is add single quotes inside of our parentheses. That way, whatever we enter in there is structured as a string. And then we're going to navigate over to our file directory. And when you hover over your HTML file, you'll see that you have these 3 vertical dots here. We're going to click on those, and we are going to select the rename option. You're going to copy the name of your HTML file to your clipboard, and then you're going to select in between the single quotes, and you're going to paste it. You are now referencing the name of your HTML file in the create template from file method. We're going to hit the right arrow on our keyboard twice. We're going to add a semicolon. We're going to hit enter twice. We're going to align our cursor using shift and tab, and we're going to add 2 slashes for a comment where we will evaluate the content of the HTML template. We're going to hit enter and tab, and we're going to declare another variable using var. You can call this whatever you want to. I'm going to call it temp. I'm going to set it equal to HTML template. And now you'll notice we are referencing the variable on line 4, so it went from being grayed out, the way that temp is, to being in black. We're going to use the dot method, where we will use the evaluate function. And you can see we don't need to enter anything into evaluate, we just need to use it. Additionally, we're going to have to chain together the get content method. So we're going to hit the right arrow on our keyboard, use dot get capital C content, and we're going to use the open parentheses in here. And now we have successfully connected our HTML file to a variable that we can use in our script. So effectively what's happening here is we are using the HTML service in order to create a template from our file that is being evaluated so that we can get the content of it, which is stored in this variable on line 7, which I have called temp, and you can call whatever you want to. We're going to use the semicolon. We're going to hit enter twice, and we are going to use shift and tab to align our cursor. And now we are going to add 2 slashes for a comment, and we will send an HTML email. We're going to hit enter and tab. We're going to use Gmail app.send email. So this is what we've been using throughout this lesson thus far. We're going to open up a set of parentheses. I'm going to hit enter for readability. And now you can see the documentation here requires us to put in 3 arguments at minimum. The first argument is the recipient. That is the email address that you want to send your email to. So you can see in the documentation here that you're using single quotes and then an email address. I'm going to recommend that you use square brackets. So I'm going to hit escape just so that documentation is removed from my screen. I'm going to use square brackets. The reason that you should use square brackets, or you would consider using square brackets, is if you want to send an email to more than one address. So for example, I'm going to enter in single quotes, and then I'm going to use mattbrigidi.dev@gmail.com. Now, in the event that I wanted to add another email, I'm going to hit the right arrow, and then I can separate it using a comma, and I can enter in matt@gmail.com. This will allow you, if you want to send it to 3 or 4 or 5, 6, however many people you want to, you have the ability to do so. So you need square brackets to do that. But if you just want to send it to one email, you can still have the square brackets there, and it will send just the same. I'm going to hit the right arrow on my keyboard. I'm going to add a comma. I'm going to hit enter. And now we're moving on to the second argument of send email, which is the subject. It needs to be structured as a string, which means you need to use single quotes or double quotes. So I'm going to call this email, this is an HTML email. I hit the right arrow on my keyboard, add a comment, comma, my apologies, hit enter. And now we are moving on to the third argument, which is the body. I'm going to hit escape. Now, we want to use an HTML body, but we still need to put something here as part of the function. So what I like to do is say this email contains HTML. If you see this, then it did not load. So this acts as an error message effectively, so that if your HTML body does not load, the individual knows that something was supposed to be there, and then you can work it out after you identify that it didn't send correctly. I'm going to hit the right arrow on my keyboard. I'm going to add a comma. And now that we've added a comma after our 3 required inputs, you can see that we have this optional input for options. And this is structured as an object. So if we scroll down in the documentation here, you can see that then we have this opportunity to use curly brackets in order to use things like attachments, and then to give a name to the attachment if you want to. So what we're going to do is hit enter, and we're going to use those curly brackets. I'm going to hit escape for readability purposes. I'm going to hit enter, and now we're going to use HTML capital B body colon. Now again, Google Apps Script is case sensitive, so it needs to be all lowercase HTML capital B body. We're going to hit space, and we're going to reference the name of our variable on line 7. So whatever is referencing the evaluate.getContent, you want to enter that name down here. So I'm going to type in temp, which is short for template. I'm going to hit escape, and now I have structured my function in order to access the content of whatever is in the HTML template. So you can see over here that this is saying that we have not saved our file yet. So I'm going to select Save Project to Drive. We now have no more, the yellow circle has gone away, and we're going to move on to the second step of our project, which is constructing an HTML email. So we're going to select our HTML file, and we're just going to use some basic HTML here. This lesson is not going to go into the nuances of all the things that you can do with HTML. I'm going to link up some resources in the description of this video if you would like to learn more. But for our purposes, we're just going to create a p tag. So we're going to open up an opening p tag and a closing p tag. I'm going to say hello, comma, and then I'm going to add another set of p tags in here. I'm going to hit enter and say this is an HTML email. I'm going to hit enter, add another p tag, and say enter. I hope you are seeing this! Exclamation point. Great. So this is just some basic HTML that is going to result in 3 lines, which should say, hello, this is an HTML email. I hope you are seeing this. Now, HTML does not recognize these spaces here, so it doesn't matter. I did that for readability purposes, but you can add as many spaces as you want to, and it's not going to pick it up. It requires tags in order to structure the output that you see on screen. So once you're done messing around with the HTML and you have your email structured the way that you want to, we're going to go back to our script file and we're going to hit run. And you can see that it completed immediately. So I'm going to go to my email and you can see that I have a new email. It's from me. It's called This is an HTML email. And you can see, hello, this is an HTML email. I hope you're seeing this. So I have successfully sent my HTML email. And you notice that even though I have all these spaces in here, it only added a single line because HTML requires tags in order to structure what you see on screen. I hope you found this video helpful. It is going to continue with other ways of sending emails, reading emails, organizing your email. So check out the playlist in the description. I also have more advanced tutorials on my page about how to stylize emails like tables and using CSS and all that type of stuff. So if you are interested in learning more, I have plenty of resources for you. The email that I used in this video is my email. So if you do have questions, comments, anything, please feel free to send it there. And I hope you'll check out all the videos in this series.